Welcome back. Now let's get to the latest on Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial. A former assistant testifying under the pseudonym Mia was back on the stand facing cross-examination for Combs' defense team. Meanwhile, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson spoke out this weekend about the trial and any potential pardon Combs could receive from President Trump. 50 went to social media following these comments from President Trump last Friday when asked about Diddy and the trial. Take a listen, please.
Back when you hosted The Apprentice, you mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening. And I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up from what I read. I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Now, here's what 50 posted on Instagram this weekend after those comments. Quote, Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there is no room for distraction. He would consider pardoning anyone who was being mistreated, not Diddy. Combs said some really bad things about Trump. It's not okay. I'm going to reach out so he knows how I feel about this guy, end quote. First of all, let me say this, because I love me some 50 Cent. I love what he's doing. I love what he's doing on Stars, Power, you know, the sequels, Power Book Ghost, which is my favorite, Power Book Force with Joseph Sikora, plays Tommy Egan. I love that. I love Raising Kanan. You saw what I had, you saw I had the star Patina Miller's on the show. She's phenomenal. I love that show. I love everything that 50 Cent is doing. Even though I'm sure he's going to still make some music or whatever, but I just think he's phenomenal. I think he's phenomenal as executive producer. I think he's an incredible talent, and I think he is the kind of person you do not want against you, because this brother will troll you forever. I mean, he will hit you where it hurts. Ain't no doubt about that. And he clearly has no love for Diddy. My whole point is Trump's willingness to pardon Diddy, potentially, whatever 50 Cent feels, it shouldn't be based on whether Trump, what Diddy has said about Trump. It should be based on whether Trump thinks the charges against him are excessive, the crime that he's being accused of, if he were to be committed of those federal crimes, how valid they are, and whether or not that time served comes into consideration. That clearly is not going to be the case. I mean, if it's one of those situations where President Trump ended up pardoning P. Diddy. P. Diddy's on trial now. He hasn't been convicted yet. He's been in jail for a few months. But with some of the things that he's been accused of, sex trafficking and racketeering, as the government continues to make its case, we got to hear what the defense has to say in response to those allegations, those charges, those assertions that the prosecution has made against him. Ultimately, if you want to look at him right now, clearly he's an individual that nobody wants to have anything to do with. When you consider the video and how it revealed how he was physically abusing his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, when you hear the assistant give her testimony, when you hear the things that folks have alluded to, when you hear about the details about what he coaxed Cassie Ventura into doing, these are very heinous, disgusting things, to say the least. I'm not going to even go into detail. They're heinous and disgusting. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, why are you thinking about pardoning him before he's even been convicted? Let him get convicted, and if he gets convicted, let him spend some time in jail, and then after that, if you want to consider pardoning him, your decision should be based on that, not on whether or not he has said nasty things about the president. So, and 50 Cent, I would just like to know for 50 Cent specifically what the beef